Alright, welcome to the channel. I'm SmileyFaceX and today we're kicking off a brand new challenge. We're going to call it the Ready Team Challenge. And for this, I've broken my squad into 4 separate teams, being the blue, green, yellow, red teams. Okay, we have about a section size, 2 patrol sized, and then 1 sniper pair. The idea is that I can't bring the same team on back-to-back missions. And I'm allowed to, I need to bring the whole team, or one dude can stay home. I'm happy if it's like a 4-man level that I can bring a patrol and leave one of them at home for a little bit in R&R, but no more than 1. So we got to pick our battles wisely in relation to that. Alright, let's, I should mention as well, I put in all the names that people suggested. And the members of the channel, part of the section as we're calling it now, and then as we grow, I can call it the platoon, and then the company, and we can just go on to bigger and badder things. But anyway, part of the section now, which are the members, we have Ready Robert, and we have Maniac Mormoth, who, if you know Mormoth's exploits from previous challenges, he's definitely a maniac. Alright, let's get into it. We just started Shrine District. We've got only 1 mission available. Objective Red Manor. There's a HVT hiding out somewhere in the old city, guarded by blackheads and their minions. We have not been able to positively identify who the enemies are, but their strength is at least 25 hostiles. Alright, HVT extract 6 lads, which means I have to use either the green or yellow teams. So let's just start with the green teams, being June,
Roger.
Crispy, Maniac Mormoth, Warlock, and Nomad.
Roger.
Alright, then we need to do an actual analysis of what we're looking at. So last time we done a HVT, this is a HVT, isn't it? Yep, we missed the HVT extraction point, which was super embarrassing and shows I'm a little bit out of touch. But anyway, look, there's no HVT extracts this time, so we can take our time with the level. We don't need to rush. We have options for some mobility slots at the back here. I don't think that's a very good option because we don't need to cut off any withdrawal routes. If there was a HVT extract point right there, then those might be a good option. And this car provides good cover, but not in a useful area. If the car was located, here, then we could control the whole lane, and it could be super beneficial. But where they are right now, I don't think they can get much done. Same down here. They just really can't do much of anything from their position. So I think it's best to just start as a stack. I could put more down this way if I wanted, depending on how I'm going to go about clearing it. We can go around the back. Central corridor is always pretty important. Or we could kind of flow our way this way, depending on what we want. So those are our kind of 3 options. Let's look at entries. So, building 1 entry here. Building 2 over here. Building 3 up here for 4, 5. These separate or the same? Same. 6. Okay. So, what is it? 4 entries on the main road, 1 off the side, and 1 at the back. So this building's the easiest to grab. There's no doubt about that. I think from there, trying to move into this next one might be a little bit tricky. And this is actually a pretty good vantage point where we can smoke up and then make entry this way. And then once we've grabbed, just this one. Once we've grabbed this building, we can post security here. That way we have some overlap. And then we can work on, honestly, probably this. We can probably do another smoke screen and jump in this way. And then we just keep bouncing our way along. Maybe we even wall breach this, depending. Wall breaches are risky because we don't want to blow the HVT. We'll see what we can do. But I think that's how we want to work it. We might also consider... we can't really push the back of this too much. There's no real benefit to pushing this way, because again, there's nothing here to give us a firing position. there is a really deep spot here which might get us in trouble for the enemy. So I think, yeah, I think we take this and we smoke this off and take this, and then we figure out what we want to do after that. Alright, that's a rough game plan. I'm going to do some loadouts and I'll be back with you. Alright, we've done our loadouts. So we have June with the M4 with the Spectre sight plus a spy camera. We got Crispy with the very similar thing except flashbangs and smokes. Maniac and Mormoth, he's got our shoddy. He's got the wall breach. Because he's got the shoddy, he's always going to be in the action. So I feel like the wall breach is perfect for him. Warlock is our long range fire support. They've got a different raid vest to move a little bit faster because their rocket launcher is going to slow them down a little bit. This guy's mainly going to be on Overwatch, so having the rocket launcher lets me do pretty much like a wall breach from a distance should we need it. Then we have Nomad, which has slaps, and we obviously have our GLA attached, plus some spare smokes should we need them. Alright, let's get into this first level. Let's do this. Okay, so where is Mr. Warlock? Get you pinned up behind this point here. Everybody else needs to start working this little problem. Okay, once that is good, we can bring in the lads. This guy's probably last actually because he's got the, what do you call it? The GLA. This guy should be on thumbs up as well. We want to make sure we shoot anything that we see. Alright, that's really nice. We can get around. Make sure we keep clearing some corners. Making sure that we are watching our points. This path could probably be improved just a little bit to allow yellow to... Okay, there's obviously a threat in this room somewhere. Okay, we could slap the room, or we could try to exploit it from the external with our shooters here. Problem is, by wrapping around, we're exposing ourselves to a pretty large area, so I don't think I'm too inclined to do that. I think I'm more inclined to honestly just manually breach this because we have a shotgunner looking straight at the angle where someone could shoot our lad from. And then we're probably just going to flashbang, if I'm being honest. Beautiful. Let's get one of the bangs in there. Oh, this guy's like left-handed or something. He's just being a little bit that way inclined. Alright, we'll get Nomad to do it then. Nice and steady. The old saying, you've got the rest of your life to make entry. It's very true. It's probably a little bit late. Alright. Let's do that. Yellow can follow in. Nah, actually, we really shouldn't be using yellow. Good kill. Good kill. Okay, we haven't quite covered that off just yet. A little bit. Yeah, it is just a couch, so we should be good, but... Alright. Happy. And look, we still have this blind intact, which is nice because it protects us from this a little bit. I'm willing to say that that corner is clear, so now we just need to worry about this. And we could probably do a pretty good amount of work with the external. So let's quickly get yellow over here. Give it a quick look without exposing ourselves too much to this. We should have Warlock looking over the top anyway. Got a good isolation on the building, which means all the reinforcements just aren't getting very far. Beautiful. This room is clear, so we are going to push through. Oh, there's exposures this way, actually. So, what we're going to do is we're going to push this guy through, and then orange can come through a little bit after the fact, and then kick this down. And hopefully there's not a super tight angle that he's getting done at. Okay. And now Nomad's back to having no job, so we can run back and support June. And honestly, once he's here, we can get a reload going. Oh, you're looking the wrong way. Nice. Okay, this looks good to go. And look, we have created a fire point should we need it. Okay. This is where we can drop a guy to provide that securities to allow us to breach this next room. Problem is, okay, if we drop somebody here, we have to drop somebody here so that a flank doesn't occur. So that means we're down 2 people, which means we're raiding this with 3. And if we're mainly worried about that direction, that means this is an issue as well, which means now we're dropped 4 people. So maybe we don't place somebody here. We just keep someone on the flank. We keep somebody on this flank. That means we've dropped 2, and then we got 4 for the entry. And we just don't use this firing point, which is what I'm leaning towards, to be honest. And then the question is, who are we swapping out? And I think we are nearly always swapping out Nomad to stay on this flanking angle. So we'll get the rest of the lads out. And let's commit to what we got going on. Okay, there's no better position for Nomad than where he currently is. Roger. Just because anywhere else does not have cover. Alright, there's nowhere we can go that'll provide us cover in this area, which is pretty bad. Alright. Warlock does need a better job. Ideally, we want to get him on to this path, which is after we make entry, right here. That's the position. Then once that's secure, because then we can see this doorway, then we can just quickly cover this off, and it'll free up the member up top. Alright, so, smoke this. That's job 1. Well, let's check it off first. Just until here. I don't want to reveal the entire lane because I'm not looking for a huge gunfight right now. Just want to make sure that nobody's going to... Ooh, there's some issues. There's some issues seeing through that. That's a little bit shit. Let's jump at the back here. We will still do the same plan. And we'll smoke that off. Alright, we have to move pretty much immediately to our doorway and pretty much breach it straight away as well. So we're going to breach it from, I think, this side. Just want this guy to wait just a second to allow us to get our dude into position. And then honestly, Warlock needs to move now as well. We can't really. I really want to take this, but I don't want to give up this angle. Yeah, Warlock has to stay. Alright, we have really good coverage. Good entry. Okay, what we can do is we can run this fella into his position. And then as soon as he's there, we can collapse one and do a 2-man clearance of this building. But it's definitely time to hop in. There's no doubt about that. So let's get straight in there. We're definitely kicking it from this side. Nice. All right, let's cover this off before we... Good shooting, good shooting. All right, now we can drop June to watch this flank down the bottom here. Nice, good overwatch. Look, we could take this, but I don't think we need to right now. I think if we free up Nomad, I think that's the play. Just want to get rid of all this. Let's see into that room a little bit. Alright, that means that from here, this guy's free. And then it probably means that we can use him down here because he's more better suited with his weaponry to cover that. This is a bit of an interesting take. So we still have to clear off this corner, but this is a living room, which means the threat is high. If we can get a flashbang around that corner, that would be ideal. Because it's a living area, people congregate there. That's why it's super important to take extra precaution. Alright, we're going to go on that bang. We're going to push to the cover. Okay, we can keep exploiting that to the best of our ability and then come back to the best spot. Same with this guy. Alright. We do have this guy ready to go should we need him. Let's give the outside a peek. Mainly worried about this position. Okay, one guy was roaming. Yeah, that's just not something I want to deal with. Okay. So this is a bit awkward. We have a little bit of a split where we don't know what's happening inside to the right, and then we have a room on the left. We can't clear both. So normally this would be a flash as well. We could frag something if we were pretty sure that there wasn't going to be any hostages in there, but the way it is, we're just going to do it this way. Alright, we need to take thumbs up off because we need to get out of our doorway. As soon as we're out, focus on that. And then because these guys are flashed, this guy should have a relatively easy time clearing off the rest of this room. With June coming around to look at the bathroom. Oh, ho, ho. Alright, we got our HVT. Let's capture that. Nice. And I think we can just scoot our way out. There's absolutely no need to take that and risk a suicide bomb or anything else. I think this is the more secure point because we don't quite have this angle, but we can take it. Let's just prep for an extract. Okay, we do have that angle, so we will push out here, provide an additional level of security. Once he's in position, then we can just roll and go straight to the designated point. No need to risk anybody else doing anything extra. We might need to extract all our personnel as well. We'll see. Come on, bro. There we go. Woo! Mission complete. Our blue team off to a hot start. No injuries. They don't give a fuck, apparently. Crispy doing most of the work. Maniac Mormoth with his shoddy putting in work as well. And June, of course. all good performances. Let's watch the fucking blue team put in the work. Real nice slow clearance. No need to rush things. I think this room in particular would have been easy to rush because they were shooting from it. People can panic in situations like that. I think the sketchiest part of the whole clearance was this room here with this extra window and the line of sights that came from it. Can be a little bit tricky, but dealt with not too bad. We had a good game plan to just keep the foot on the throttle, as they say, and to keep pushing that next room. Using smokes to cut off some angles to allow us to breach just that little bit safer. Obviously we have concealment, not cover. Big difference. And then, yeah, identifying the living areas, so the high threat areas, to just reduce the threat on our personnel. Make sure we're looking in the right way. And if we're looking in the wrong way, hopefully the wrong way has people that are flashed. Which occurred twice in this building alone. And we're kind of lucky that our shotgun didn't take out the HVT there, which is super nice. And then we had an easy extract from there, so happy days. A really solid first mission for the ready teams.
Mission complete.
Oh, another day, another mission. Alright, looks like we got 2. Objective Sad Viper and Healthy Sky. We'll give them a look. Crispy's been promoted. Maniac Mormoth's been promoted. Nice. Alrighty. So, Healthy Sky, an abduction, 1 day remaining on it, 4 purse. Sad Viper, 2 days with 3 purse. And it's just a clear hostiles. Alright. So we can send, yellow team in on Healthy Sky if we want. They're our only option. Otherwise, red team's just not very good. Or we send red team on Sad Viper. I'm more inclined to go clear hostiles with my sniper pair. So let's go Sad Viper. We're going out to remove the enemy forces from their own backyard near Sundown Market. The enemy strength is thought to be between 9 and 15 poorly organised insurgents. Alright. So as said, we're going to use red team. Let's put them in. Wilco.
Affirmative.
Let's set them up. Look, the game plan, okay? I think it's pretty straightforward, right? We're going to go this way, then we're going to go this way. It's pretty much, we're just going to tackle each room as we get to it. Not going to put too much extra thought into that. I don't think we need anything hectic. None of these rooms are particularly tricky to take. Alright, I'm going to do some loadouts and get back with you. Alright, so our 2 sniper pair, we've got their snipers in their backpack, I swear, but they've got their shotties out. Definitely a shotgun level. We got a single slap for that first locked door entry just so we can have 2 guns up with a lot of bangs. And then Pigeon, he's running a camera because I just think cameras are invaluable. So let's get this cracking. So we can just open this first one. I don't think it's much of a threat. Beautiful. And then we need to... this guy. Let's get this slap up.
Roger.
While he does that, we need to make sure we're covering him. The main thing with shotguns is to make sure that the muzzle is actually up. It's very easy to get way too close to the door. Alright, let's push back so we have a little bit of cover from our own doorways. And we're still presenting on target. Beautiful. Skags took a hit. Unfortunate. But not awful. Let's get him out of the way. He can do a reload. We can let this breathe just a little bit. And we can explore it a little bit with Pigeon. You're looking the wrong way, dog. Okay. How many guys have we taken out now? What'd the brief say? 9 to 15. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we've still got a fair few more. I don't think there's anything over this way, so we're mainly concerned about these 2 points. Let's swap these guys out for a quick reload.
Reloading.
Alright, and we are going to lead with old mate that's not injured, funnily enough. Oh, fuck. You went the wrong way, didn't you? Alright, here we go. Good kill. Alright, this door is closed, which means we can work this next room before we worry about this. So we want to come across, give our orange guy enough room to work as well, something like this. And the reason we're doing that is in case this jumps open, we're still protecting blue. Now, orange cannot be in front. Thank you. This is real bad. It's really bad when that occurs. And this room's... Oh boy. Okay. This room's got some issues. Main one being is that we can't drop this in case there's somebody here and he's going to flank. So we can't use 2 on this, which means we can't camera that position. We can't attack this because there's also areas here that can become an issue. And if this guy's alone, especially with a shotgun where we don't have a great magazine size, if we get flooded, it could be bad. Even though there's probably not that many enemies left, I think this just means we need to kick this to free up a guy.
Roger.
And if it's a suicide bomber, then it's a suicide bomber. Alright, we are good. That is beautiful. Let's take the long with Skags. And because there's less likely to be somebody standing in a doorway and more likely to be somebody lurking there, we're going to... Oh, that's such a bad tactic though. You should never just run this way to look that way. Alright, beautiful. And now we can switch and run the rest of the room. While this guy is kind of pointing in the middle because I want to see both this doorway and this red space. Beautiful, door open, so that's the bigger threat. Even though this is a dead end. So this obviously leads to more. So ideally, we'd want to kind of deal with this. Only because we have 2. If we had a 4-man stack, we would keep pushing the open doorway and we would just hold this with a guy. And then when we had a chance, an extra free dude, then we would punch it. So, because we can't, because we need 2 to move forward, we need to be able to watch our backs. What we can do is something like this and something like this. Yeah, let's just do it this way. He can check this off. And then as he does that, we can do this. Okay. Now what we can do is we can quickly check it. And if it swings, we can get Skags to quickly swing across. Ah, okay, it's a cupboard room. But the cupboard room looks good. So let's kick it. Actually, let's just open it. These rooms are a little bit tricky sometimes. There's some line of sight issues. Alright. Let's see how we go with that. Hopefully we don't get flanked. Okay, he keeps dropping his weapon a little bit. I need to work on where I'll put the pies for that. Good kill, good kill. This guy's starting to get pretty low on ammunition. So we're going to push in, get into the corner to allow him to fall back and reload. Still need to present our weapon when we come back out because there is a threat this way. Beautiful. Skags can cover off the rest of that room best he can. That's why we keep clearing it off. There is still a little bit of red space here. But we can start working this next one. Hopefully that door's closed. It is not. Alright, the bigger threat is over this way, but there is a little angle over here, so it's a little bit annoying, but we're gonna just have to take it best we can. Something like that. Beautiful. Bigger threats up here, so we can keep pushing. I don't know what kill count we're up to now. I think it was 9 back here, wasn't it? 1. Let's count the feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there's not many left, I don't think. Oof, this is a gnarly little point. There could be one dude back here. These rooms could be open, which presents their own issues. So we're going to, just because there's a lot going on, we're going to flash this. Take cover. Alright, let's push into it. Let's take the thing off because we actually want to make sure that we're... Once that corner's clear, we want to make sure we're actually moving out of the way for Orange to continue his clearance as well. Okay. That is okay because that's why we have frag grenades. There we go.
Good job.
Good job. Woo! 9 kills for Pigeon, 3 for Skags, but he obviously got clipped a little bit early on in the piece, which is just fine. Most of that level was just this initial room. But we had 2 guns up. The other option is to breach it like that, but stay within cover and use a frag or a flash prior to peeking the hallway. But because we had shotties and we had 2 up, I think it's also a pretty safe way of doing it. And then it's just 2-man drills the entire time. Make sure we cover each other. This room has gotten me done in the past. I hate those little rooms. But the shotguns prove their worth big time this level. They have so many times before that. It's not like it's a new bloody phenomenon. But... And, yeah, I think it was just super clean. And it's always good when you get to throw a frag to finish it off as well. Hell yeah. Alright, day 3, we got a new, looks like an intel abduction mission for the next episode. But that wraps it up for this one. So we obviously had blue team getting into the mix, plus red team, so it's going fucking really well. We only got 1 little injury, which how long's he out for? Oh, 1 day, no dramas at all. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you liked the names. When we do need new fellas, if you put comments down below, I'll add them to the list so I can put them in as soon as we get new guys. But it's going to be a while because you can't replace their names within the tour of duty, which is completely terrible. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed and I'll see you next time. Peace!